Last week, in the wake of Isaiah Pacheco's leg injury, the Kansas City Chiefs signed their old friend Kareem Hunt to the practice squad. Hunt wasn't brought up last week for the Chiefs' victory over the Atlanta Falcons, but on Tuesday, the Chiefs signed him to the active roster and waived running back Keontae Ingram per ESPN's Field Yates. Ingram had been signed to the active roster from the practice squad last week. In the first game without Pacheco, undrafted rookie Carson Steele led the backfield in snaps and touches, rushing 17 times for 72 yards and catching one pass for 2 more. Samaje Perine played behind him, finishing with 6 carries for 25 yards and 3 catches for 15 yards. Hunt's elevation to the 53-man roster potentially muddies the picture a little bit. Hunt began his career with the Chiefs and led the NFL in rushing in 2017. The team cut him midway through the 2018 season after a videotape of Hunt pushing a woman to the ground and kicking her was released to the public. Hunt was not charged as the woman ceased cooperation with an investigation into the accident. Hunt then caught on with the Browns, where he played 5 largely forgettable seasons. He averaged 4 yards per carry and exceeded 4.2 yards per carry only once, and it was in a season where he had just 78 carries in 8 games. He hit new lows in each of the last 2 seasons with 3.8 and 3.0 yards per carry, while his yards per reception averages hit career lows of 6 and 5.6 as well. Hunt is now 29 years old and comes back to the Chiefs. Let's see what he has in the tank. I think this could be the start of the Kareem Hunt redemption story in Kansas City. Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another live podcast for that ass. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, click that bell. Love seeing you guys here. Guys, Kareem Hunt is back. Yeah, the era is now. The redemption story starts now. I cannot wait for it. This is another live. You can see Steve's not here with me. He'll be here in just a few minutes. He's running a little bit behind. He got caught in some traffic or something. I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. This guy's wild. But anyways, yeah, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that like button for me if you do not care. And yeah, you might notice we're not usually on Tuesday nights. Not usually doing a live. We usually do live on Wednesdays. But I had a unexpected, well, it was kind of expected. It was a long time coming. My girlfriend, her grandma lost her battle with dementia. And so she'd been struggling for a little while. Dementia sucks. It was just a slow grind, a slow process. Sometimes people say, sudden deaths are tough to deal with, but sometimes even having it laid out in front of you for just weeks and weeks and watching somebody that you love deteriorate, it sucks. So yeah, I've got to go take care of that tomorrow. So I will be out of town. So I won't be able to do any content tomorrow. I'll probably be back on Thursday. Steve will be back with me tonight, and he'll be back. We'll be back. We'll probably do another live on Thursday because we probably won't be able to record a video or anything to get up on Thursday. So probably just do another live. So I appreciate you guys being with me tonight. Just going to talk some football. Try to keep our minds off of the life stuff we got going on. But yeah, appreciate you guys being here. It's awesome. And as soon as Steve gets here, he'll jump on. But yeah, let's talk about Kareem Hunt a little bit, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Kareem back in the Chiefs uniform. And I do think this is a redemption story from Kareem Hunt. I think he's viewing it as that. I really do. I think that he is going to be very focused. He's going to be very driven. And I cannot wait to see what he can do because let's be honest, against the Falcons, our offense, after going back and watching all 22, it really wasn't all that horrible. I thought Patrick Mahomes, in the moment, you think, Patrick Mahomes played kind of bad. He threw that pick to Justin Simmons. That's just a given. Every time we play Justin Simmons, he's going to throw him a pick. It's like Christmas morning. Like, it's coming. Okay, so you can't be too down on Mahomes because he did turn it around in the second half. He led a lot of scoring drives. Again, I think our problem was we moved the ball pretty well. I just do not think that we took advantage when we needed to. We cannot get over the hump and turn those field goals into 6 points. We just can't do it. And that has been the Achilles heel over the past few years, and it continues to be a problem. Now, I tweeted about this earlier, and I was like, is Hollywood Brown really that vital? Like, in his short amount of time he spent with us in the offseason, was he really that much of a factor that they were going to work their offense around, that it feels like that we've just lost all ability to take shots down the field and to open this thing up a little bit? We're seeing it a little bit with Rashee Rice, but Rashee Rice is doing a lot of that after the catch. He did burn Cam Taylor-Britt for a long one, and then there was a busted coverage, and they hit Worthy in the first game against the Ravens, but it seems like a lot of it's underneath stuff. I tweeted out just yesterday about Patrick Mahomes There's a lot of excitement coming up with Mahomes, to be honest. There really is. But there was something I tweeted out the other day, and it was kind of crazy to think about. Let me find this. I don't want to get it wrong. Here it is. Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to bring it up for you, actually. Let's just bring it up so that way you guys can look at it with me. And then go ahead and throw me some chat, some comments in the chat and some questions and things, and I'll get to them in just a second. Just kind of wanted to bring this up a little bit. Again, I don't think the offense has struggled, like horribly. I thought we done okay. I thought it was sufficient. We just didn't put the ball in the end zone. But looking at this next gen stat chart, and I'm sure you guys have seen it if you're on X, but Patrick Mahomes completed no passes, zero, zilch, over 20 yards versus the Falcons. And he only had one pass over 15 yards. And it wasn't even really, he had two. He had one that was picked at Justin Simmons right at the 15-yard marker. And he may have actually had one more that was right at 15, maybe two more that was right at 15, but none over. So you find that to be a little strange, considering Andy and them were, in camp saying, we're pushing the ball down the field. We're pressing, we're going. It's not happening so far. And I get defenses are going to play you a lot differently than practice defenses in camp. I do understand that one. But Mahomes completed 11 of his 26 completions last night versus the Falcons behind the line of scrimmage. So out of 26 completions, almost half were behind the line of scrimmage, which means the Chiefs are just doing the opposite of pushing the ball down the field. I've actually seen a stat the other day that said Mahomes is regressing year by year on how much he's actually pressing the ball down the field and how much he's actually throwing the ball. Another 11 of his completions were under 7 yards. So if you add that together, 11 of his completions were behind the line, and 11 were no further than 7 yards. That's 22 of his 26 completions, literally only 7 yards or less. And that's just a tad bit crazy, in my opinion, for what we thought we were going to see. I really do. It's very odd. But again, I think game plans get dictated. Defense dictates certain things. Injuries will dictate it just a little bit. The fact that Kelce's not really been able to get off yet, he's kind of like, he's like a racehorse. And it's like, we're getting ready to run the Kentucky Derby, and he just stumbled a little bit out of the gate. He stumbles out of the block a little bit. But I do believe he'll gain his traction. As the season gets further, as the race goes along, he's going to find his stride. He's just got to sit in the middle of the pack and wait for a chance to explode at the end. And that's what he routinely does. So I'm still, a little disappointed that Kelce has had such a mediocre last 11, 12, 13 regular season games. But you do look at the playoffs, and in the playoffs, he's done okay. Okay, he's been better than okay in the playoffs. So there's that. I think when the bright lights come on, that time of the season comes, Kelce will turn it on. So are you a little frustrated by what's happening? Of course, but we are getting to see a little bit more Noah Gray. That's a positive. Take that out of it. We've not seen a lot of Jared Wiley, but I do think Jared Wiley could be somebody that they do throw in the mix here more as we go. In my opinion, I thought the way they were using him, we've yet to even see that. We've not seen any of the big red zone packages or anything. Nothing what we were seeing in camp. If you remember in camp, the Chiefs were putting in a lot of big, they were using Justin Ross, they were using Jared Wiley. And they were going and throwing it up in the end zone and making plays. And we've got inside of the, I want to say the red zone at the 20, but even closer, down to the 10, down to the 5. Andy's committed more to the run game, but it seems like the offensive line's just not really opening up any holes down there. And so we're just not seeing a lot of what we were seeing in camp. And again, I just had that epiphany of like, is Hollywood really that big of a loss? Like, is it going to be that big of a loss? I don't tend to think so. Let me know in the chat what you guys think, and we'll talk about it. Flapjack with a 2-bomb. Appreciate you, brother. He says Mahomes is Alex Smith 2.0 is what I'm hearing. A lot of people have been saying that over the past few days. He really is starting to check it down and dump it down a lot more. And at first, it was Mahomes won't take what the defense gives him. He's forcing it, turnover machine. Then it became Mahomes took what the defense give him. And now I feel like he's taking what the defense gives him a little too much. I feel like there's a fine line between take what the defense gives you or press just a little bit. And when I say press, I don't really mean press as in make stupid throws. But I think you do have to challenge the defense a little more, challenge what Cincinnati was doing a little more. But again, that starts on the offensive line. He's got to have the protection. I don't think he's very comfortable with his protection right now. His fundamentals look like trash. I talked to Ron Kopp tonight. He was putting some stuff up on X, and he's shown a couple plays where Mahomes' footing is not there. Mahomes admitted to this. He says it's just not working for him right now. He's got to get back to the fundamentals. Mahomes is like, he's relying too much on his arm. He don't have his base down. He's not squaring up his body. He's not even getting the throw. He's not even putting the ball in the right throwing motion. Imagine this is a football. Usually when quarterbacks go back, your palm's down. Your palm's down. Okay, you don't turn your palm this way. You don't do this. You keep it down. That's how it works. And Mahomes is not even doing that sometimes. Like he's getting a little loose with it a little bit. And I don't critique him. I'm not a 3-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. Okay, I'm not that. I'm not Andy Reid. I'm not the Chiefs. I don't sit through all the meetings. And will I never say Patrick Mahomes is a bad quarterback? He's not. But I do, and I have played, and you can get in your own head. You just get in your own head, and you get out of form. And I think Mahomes might be there. And again, I've heard he has some personal stuff going on right now. Not 100% sure about that. But again, these guys have personal lives on and off the field, and I know we think they get paid so much they shouldn't have that, but it's there, man. But appreciate the 2-bomb, Flapjack. Also, Flapjack, I think you actually donated last live, and we missed that because it just got skipped in the super chat. But appreciate that as well. Mike Yoways with the 5-bomb. Appreciate you, Mike. He says, Steele was on fire now with Hunt back. It's going to change things. Let's get all horned up. Sorry for your loss, Mike. I appreciate it, Mike. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll get through it. We're going to celebrate the life. It'll be fine. But yes, Steele was on fire, man. Steele was on fire. I think Steve's back. Let's see if we can get Steve to jump in here if he's ready. He'll just jump in when he's ready. There he is.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm just answering this question really quick. But yeah, Steele was on fire. And I thought he looked good for his first game. I know Steve did. We talked about this. We didn't have any problems with Steele becoming that workhorse back. A lot of people didn't think Andy would let it happen. They were like, no, he's a rookie. I don't know if Andy will give him the keys yet. I felt like Andy was comfortable with it. Don't you, Steve?
It sure looked like it. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't be, to be honest. I think we saw enough of him in the preseason to know that he can take on the workload.
Yeah. I thought he runs like a man possessed. He's like Pacheco, but he's not. Like, they're totally two different running styles, but their attitude and their grit, dude, it's beautiful. I would have loved to seen that 1-2 combination for a lot longer than we got to, but I'm excited for Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt's going to be able to come in, and Kareem Hunt's not an easy guy to bring down. Believe me, he'll run you over. There's several plays I've seen Kareem Hunt just lay the wood on somebody. So now that he don't have that extra shiftiness, he may not have all that gas in the tank. His knees may not be as good. He may have some tread on the tires. I think he still can knock somebody out if he lets them have it. And I think he's going to be fine, dude. But Mike, I appreciate that 5-bomb, brother. Appreciate all the support. Flapjack too, man. Appreciate you guys. Steve, yeah, we were just talking about Kareem Hunt a little bit. We were talking a little bit about Patrick Mahomes and how in the last, I'll bring this up so you can look at it. We talked about this just a little bit about Patrick Mahomes. The stat I pulled up the other day versus the Falcons, Mahomes completed 0 passes over 20 yards, and he only had 1 over 15 yards. He completed 11 of his 26 behind the line of scrimmage, and 11 more completions were under 7 yards. So that makes 22 out of 26 completions under 7 yards. What do you think about that one?
Kind of sums up the offense in total right now, right? Even last year. I mean, we've literally been a dink and dunk offense for over a year now. I thought they'd come out of it a little bit. They talked about all offseason how they wanted to push the ball down the field. They got weapons like Xavier Worthy, but I think that's still what they're going to be doing, man. I don't see them straying far from that. I'm hoping because
I'm glad you said that.
Though, I'm hoping Kareem Hunt can stretch it out a little bit, like, and actually get the backs involved.
Right. I'm glad you said that. I want to ask you a question then, because you didn't hear the first part of the conversation. Do you think Hollywood Brown was really that vital into what they were going to do to stretch this offense, that him being out is really that big of a problem right now? Or do you think it's something else?
I don't. I really don't. Like, I think it's definitely like throwing a wrench in the gears, right? Like, they'd been rolling with him all offseason. They were ready. They had that offense installed. And then now they have to replace a big part of it. So I get that, but I don't think it would have changed up much because I've said before, I mean, if they were really just trying to use Marquise Brown to stretch the field out, I don't know how you can't do the same thing with McCole Hardman, who runs a 4.3 40, or Justin Watson even. They might not be as good of a receivers as Hollywood Brown, but, I mean, they can still stretch the field, but they're not even going for that, it don't seem like.
Right. I can't wait to dig back into the All-22. I've reviewed it once. I didn't get to review it like tons. I'm probably not even going to get to do it tomorrow, to be honest. So who knows? I probably won't even get to review it. It's going to end up being Friday or Saturday. But Flapjack with another 5-bomb. And I think Flapjack's just trying to make a point here. He says Jaden Daniels went 21 of 23 for 255, 2 touchdowns versus Cincy. And again, Cincy destroys Mahomes. Mahomes can't figure it out, and a rookie comes in and goes 21 for 23 with 2 touchdowns. He puts up Mahomes' stat line, which was literally probably the worst game we've ever watched Mahomes play. It has to be in the top 3. And then he says, we need that outside wide receiver. We ain't had one in 3 years. Someone explain this. I don't think there's an explanation. I just believe that Mahomes gets a little I believe Cincinnati gets in Mahomes' head a little bit. I believe it is the receiver. I believe we really do not have that Jamar Chase type of receiver that can go out there and do things. And we don't have that Terry McLaurin type of receiver that can go out there and be that outside guy. Rashee Rice has run the majority of his stuff out of the slot, Steve. I put this up today. You wouldn't think about it, but Rashee Rice is actually running more out of the slot than anybody. Let me find the exact number because I don't want to mess this up. Oh, here it is. Chiefs' highest slot snaps through week 3, and I'll go ahead and just bring this back up so you can see it. Rashee Rice has taken 48 snaps out of the slot. Travis Kelce is your second highest slot receiver. He's ran 43 out of the slot. Xavier Worthy, who you would think would be doing it's a 27. Juju, 19, and most of those come in the Falcons game. Justin Watson at 19, and then another tight end, number 14. You've yet to see Sky Moore in the slot. You've yet to see McCole Hardman in the slot. You've yet to see anybody like that. So, to me, it's just a little puzzling of what we're doing with the receivers and how we're using them. Yet again, it feels like it's always how we're using things, in my opinion.
It has to be, right? I mean, I know that, like I said, I think Hollywood Brown, by all means, is a better receiver than some of these other guys we talked about. So I don't think there's that big of a gap for it to like mess up the whole offense. Now, how they're using the guys, I mean, obviously, Rashee Rice is eaten, right? Like, he's the second leading
Rashee Rice is a big slot receiver. He is Marquez Colston. He's that kind of guy.
Right. He's going to have to get those snaps in the slot because he's killing it, bro. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the number 2 receiver in all of football right now.
100%. Yeah, he is.
So I don't know why they would stray from that. Just keep doing what they're doing as far as that goes. But I think you have to figure out how to open the offense up a little bit. Take advantage of that. Like, if Rashee Rice is killing them underneath, take some shots down the field and see if you can catch them sleeping, you know? I don't know. Yeah,
Steve, it has literally been the Rashee Rice show in Kansas City for 3 weeks. It really has. If not for Rashee Rice, we would be 0-3 by far. 288 receiving yards. The closest one to him is Xavier Worthy with 81. Rashee Rice has 207 more yards than the next highest person. And by the way, Kelce don't even have 70 yet. Rashee has 2 touchdowns. Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster has 1. They're tied with Wanye Morris. We have a backup lineman has got more receiving touchdowns than our entire receiving core, just about, minus Rashee Rice. And then on top of that, if you just look at pure targets, Rice has been targeted 29 times. The closest one to him is Kelce again at 13, and people keep saying, you know, they're not targeting Kelce. Yeah, they are. He's the second most targets. It's only 13 over 3 weeks. He's still the second highest targeted guy on the team, which means the team's just kind of struggling right now. They're struggling with it.
Yeah, but you know what? The defense has showed that they will stand up and win a game for the Chiefs. Already. I mean, we're just 3 weeks in. There's a lot of new pieces on that defense. There were a lot of worries about the defense, whether it be defensive end, like the pass rush, or it be corners since L'Jarius Sneed left. But I think that they've played pretty damn good. I think they might be one of the top run defenses in the league right now, which is what was everybody afraid of, man? Like, our run defense always sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like, and no one's getting anything on the Chiefs, man. Spags got that stuff on lock. So, like, my thing is if the offense is going to struggle, I'd rather them do it here in the first quarter of the season and get it out of their damn system, figure it all out. I mean, it's kind of how it worked last year. They struggled and sputtered all year long, got to the playoffs, and yeah, you still saw that stagnant, like, offense kind of rear its ugly head in the playoffs sometimes. But for the most part, I thought the offense looked 100% better in the playoffs, and the defense was still killing it, and that's how they won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, you just got to be patient and let it all play out, I suppose.
Right. Well, right now the Chiefs are the number 17th ranked defense in the NFL. They're also the number 17th ranked defense per PFF. They give them an overall grade of a 65. That's pretty good. I mean, they're the bottom half of the league, though. It's kind of odd. On run defense, they are lower than that. They're actually 21st in the league in rush defense. In coverage, they rank 21st. So they're still, it's kind of odd that they're not a higher rated defense than they are, but I don't know. It's weird. We're just looking at the total. It's just a team game right now for the Chiefs, which is fine. This is what the Chiefs have to do. You got to be a total team. Their offense is actually outranking their defense. Their offense is number 15th overall. So their defense is 17, their offense is 15. Who would have been able to look at that after watching these games and see that that's a thing?
Statistically, they're the most mid team in the NFL.
And they're getting wins.
But they're the first team in the power ranking. So,
because
it just goes to show you, like, we think about the stats a lot, and we want to, maybe Mahomes didn't have a great game, or Kelce's not put up any stats. That's not the name of the game, man. The name of the game's putting a W up. So,
dude,
I mean,
if we're not playing,
that's fine.
Yeah, if we're not playing our best football, and we aren't, Mahomes isn't playing his best football. Andy Reid's not coached his best game. The defense isn't playing the best they can play. The offensive line's not hit the best they can play. Although 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen are just out there just eating. It's all coming down to that left tackle spot, sadly. It looks like the Chiefs are going to stick with Wanye from what we're hearing. I guess they felt comfortable. I thought, in my opinion, Wanye looked better. But why did he look better? They helped him all day. It's really weird. I would think if you're going to just commit to helping, let the rookie stay in. Okay.
I mean, do you think this was a pre-planned thing? Like, maybe that's just, they kind of went ahead and pulled the plug a little early when he was getting beat up by Trey Henderson, because Wanye was coming off some injuries and stuff from the preseason. So maybe they were planning on, I don't know, but by all indications, I thought Kingsley was going to be the starter. So I think it's kind of weird they go away from him that quick.
Yep, I'm with you, dude. SSG Minotaur said, with a 5-bomb. Appreciate it, brother. He says, what's Sky Moore giving us this year that Ross or Mio could not have? Look, Sky Moore has only played, and I just actually posted this one up today. Sky Moore has only played 15 snaps, I believe. He's played 15 snaps, and they've been literally almost all run blocking plays. I think he's ran 3 pass routes all year, and it could be less. Mecole Hardman's ran less than that. So, again, when you say what's Sky Moore giving us that Ross Remigio couldn't, nothing to this point, and neither has Mecole Hardman.
I mean, they only put in the block. I mean,
yeah, they're only being put in the block. Honestly, I think Remigio is just the better option at this point along throughout the entire. Like, I would take Remigio probably right now over both Moore and Mecole Hardman, in my opinion. I feel like when he's at least on the field, he does find a way to get open, it seems like, more than everybody else. At least he did in camp.
I feel like it's a moot point. I don't think
it kind of is. We're not going to him anyway.
They're not going to get snaps. They're not going to get the ball. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But and at the same time, I'm not complaining, because I was really irritated with the whole rotation last year, where they're constantly rotating the guys out. At least the guys are getting in and getting settled now. I mean, 90% of the snaps, it's going to be Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster, probably Justin Watson. Like, I mean, that's kind of what you know. And it's good because they can get out there and get comfortable. I'll just be glad when they start seeing it open up a little bit, man. I'm still just kind of bummed out that we haven't seen it be a little bit more explosive. And they've got to figure out, when they get on their opponent's side of the field, they've got to figure out how to punch that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, you're right. Appreciate the 5-bomb, Minotaur. Mike Films with a 2-bomb says, on X, I tagged you. Mahomes missing Worthy at Mike Chiefs. So I just checked out what you tagged me in, brother. I appreciate it. I can't show what you tag me in because it's game footage and we'll get blocked. But yeah, there's a bunch of plays here where people are singling out on the all-22 film Xavier Worthy possibly beating his man all night long and Mahomes just kind of missing him. And again,
Would it surprise you?
No, but also, again, you do this, so you can go back to last year and do this with Sky Moore, and he's open a lot, but Mahomes ain't looking at him, right? Sometimes the Chiefs' offense just runs tons of decoys, and Mahomes already knows where he's going with the ball. There's so many different things that go into it, but it doesn't surprise me. Mahomes has not been very comfortable in the pocket, and I think a lot of these balls, if deeper, yeah, he's just not finding them. But yeah, I see it. This guy's saying that there was a lot of missed opportunities. He could have had a massive game. Also, Matt Nagy and Andy Reid need to let him run real routes. So I don't know. I'll have to go through and look at that thread, though. But I appreciate you letting me know you tagged me in it. That's interesting. I'll go back and watch it. Appreciate it, Mike.
I would like to see more Xavier Worthy. Like, I kind of feel like he's fallen into that gadget guy thing, and I feel like we don't want him to be that. Like, don't do what you did to McCole Hardman with Xavier Worthy. Like, let him get out there and be a receiver. Because, I mean, a lot of the work we've seen from him so far is just quick hitters out there in a screen pass or running a reverse, something, whatever. Jet sweep, the McCole Hardman special.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to get stuck like that, and I feel like our team and our offense tends to slot guys into that little gadget role and keep them there. So I don't want that to happen. I'm not saying it will, but it's just like, it's a concern.
Cobra Kai Ty, baby. Been a member for 14 months. It's been longer than that. We know it. He says 3-0. Let's freaking go. We should be able to blow the Chargers out, but I'm sure it'll be a close game as always.
Right.
Hoping to go 4-0 on Sunday. Yeah, without Justin Herbert possibly, without Joey Bosa.
Yeah, man. Derwin James.
I'm sure it'll come down to a field goal. That's what we do. Then again, we beat the Chargers by decent. Andy will beat divisional rivals more than he beats other teams.
Or did we play the Chargers at the end of last year or sometime with a backup QB and just barely win the game?
Yeah, it was Easton Stick last year.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't play many either. We didn't play
Was that
Mahomes.
like the last game of the season?
Yeah, we didn't play Kelce. But, people do tend to play us pretty well. It's just the way it is. And, whoever the backup quarterback is, they'll get their shot, and it'll be great.
Well, I mean,
more than likely, Justin Herbert will just amputate, put on a fake leg, and he'll be right back out there.
I think it's just a typical, they're going to take their best swing at the champs, right? Like, they're going to, you saw it in this game last week, but I was literally just watching the game in amazement that they were going for it on that fourth down at the end when they were down like 5 points. I'm like, what are they doing? Kick the field goal. Mahomes is sucking right now. You're going to get the ball back. If you kick that
field goal and you kick the ball deep, you get it back at about the same spot you would have got it.
They would have won that game.
And you probably win the game because you don't have to go on fourth down.
But that's the problem. Every time someone plays the Chiefs, they're throwing haymakers the entire game. They're so afraid that it's going to get out of control because.
So I'm with you. Do you think if a team plays us normal and just sits there and jabs us to death and waits for a knockout punch, they'll get us?
I mean, isn't that what the Titans used to do to us with Derrick Henry?
Kind of. They had to wait for us to make our own mistakes.
It's literally like if you play a slow game against the Chiefs and you play clock control and you're actually getting decent yardage on run plays, I think the Chiefs, you can lull them into like this terrible half-asleep team. It's like they get there. You wear the defense out a little bit.
Do you know what Atlanta feared, though, I believe? I honestly believe Atlanta feared our run game. They thought when we got the ball with 4 minutes to go, they may not stop that run game. And lo and behold, Andy didn't run the ball.
Let's be honest, though. I mean, if you watched any of the tape from the prior week, which that's what the Falcons did, we ran all over the Bengals at will.
We ran all over the Falcons, to be honest.
So, I mean,
thought we looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cobra Kai, awesome, man, that you've been a member. Appreciate you, brother. Flapjack with a 2-bomb. Appreciate you, too, brother. Flapjack's going off tonight. He's trying to be heard tonight. He's pissed.
He said, "Hear ye, hear ye."
He said, "Viral sad face Travis on the sideline said it all." People showing that. And I heard this week that he got broken up with.
Look, bro, I think it's taken out of context.
His hair's
pretty
got
funny.
cut. He's Samson now. They cut his hair.
I don't know what's going on.
He's not grew the beard out yet. I mean, I think it's pre-beard Kelce. I think when the beard gets back, Kelce's back, right?
I think we're a game or two away with Kelce putting up the production that he has this season, if it were to continue, we're a game or two away from, I'm talking a lot of national media talking about how Travis Kelce has no interest in football anymore. He's ready to be in Hollywood.
Dude,
he's
if it's
not worried
true.
about it. I mean, can you argue that right now? I mean, I don't think that, but how would you even counter that? Oh, this guy that, he's a shell of him former self in the 3 games that he's played.
Right.
He does, and then you see stuff like that, and I think that's why it went viral, is because I think it was taken out of context, but at the same time, he looks uninterested. Like he just could give a shit less,
I mean, I don't know. This was reported on Twitter just a little bit ago. His mom apparently come out today when they was asked about people being harsh on Travis, and she quoted saying,
"Mom, you got him."
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he put her out there on like a PR tour, but they did ask her a question, and she says, "You don't realize how many times people are trying to keep you from catching the ball or trying to trip you up or hit you. It's kind of hard when you've got people that are in your face 24/7. Yeah, I love Mama Kelce too, but Mama Kelce, that's football. Travis Kelce, yeah, that's football. We ain't playing hopscotch. That happens every game, and Kelce's had this his entire career. 2 and 3 guys on him all the time. And
there's no difference. That's another thing. Like you see a lot of people be like, well, they're game planning for Kelce. They're double teaming him. He's facing a double team. Well, hello. They've been doing it for the last 9 years.
They've been doing this for his entire career. I think the difference is Kelce was just, I think maybe he was just a little younger and more spry and could get off. And now he's struggling a little bit. And I don't know. Yeah, I know you want to be perverted, but I don't know.
He's got to lay off the blue chew before the game.
I guess. Maybe that succubus has got his soul, baby. Maybe Taylor's that. Maybe she's just milking him dry out there.
Nah, man. Honestly, though, I think he'll come around. It'll come around. I don't think it's necessarily Kelce himself. I think we saw several plays last week where he beat his man. He was running Kelce-esque routes, getting open. It's just the whole offense is out of sync right now. Patrick Mahomes missed a lot of open throws. It's just a lot of different things, man. And I'm not blaming Patrick Mahomes totally for the offense being the way it is, but I think it does play a big factor in it that he's not up to speed yet this season. And, I mean, obviously he's going to take it on himself and be the leader and be like, hey, it starts with me. I'm not playing well. But I think he's being 100% genuine when he's saying that, because he's like, I've got to get back to the basics. I got to work on my mechanics. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. He knows what's up, and it'll be fine. It'll all be fine.
Yeah. Otto John in the house. He says, so what's Bieniemy doing? Does he need a job? Bieniemy's still with UCLA, and they haven't looked too hot. At least they did in week 1. Steve, I went back and watched a little bit more just yesterday. I went back and watched some things, some games maybe from Bieniemy back 2016-ish. And I watched a few games of Nagy in 2018. And when I say I watched a few games, I just kind of quickly ran through some stuff. But I did notice there is a little bit of difference in the Chiefs' offense with Nagy compared to Bieniemy. I see shades. And again, I've not got to do extensive research. But what I was doing is I watched a few things and I charted a few plays. And I charted a few plays in about 4 different games, maybe 5, 6, 10 plays, and kind of the looks and what they do. Run, like where are they running, how are they passing, where are they passing the ball to? Is it underneath stuff? Is it over the top stuff? I was doing stuff like that. And then I went back and I watched a few games of the offense of Trubisky under Matt Nagy. And I see shades of what the Bears were doing there and what the Chiefs are doing now. And again, I know that this is the same offense. Matt Nagy took that offense with him. But we kind of look like the Bears, so I kind of wonder how much Nagy does influence. I kind of wonder. I think he's got his hands all over this offense, to be honest. I don't think it's the end-all, be-all because, we all know Big Red's doing it, and Nagy took that offense with him. But I see Nagy within this offense a little bit.
Well, you have to, right? Like, that's the thing about it. Do I think it's 100% Matt Nagy why the offense is not doing what it's doing? No, I think a lot of it's execution. But I do think he has to take it. I mean, if people are saying it, it's his offense, 100%. And yeah, if Andy Reid puts his good graces on it and lets it roll, then it's on Andy as well. But I think it is. But I will say one thing, and it's very weird because Eric Bieniemy was the ex-running back, but I think Matt Nagy is committed to the run much more than Eric Bieniemy ever did calling plays. Because there were several seasons where we were like, can we please get like 15 carries this game? Like just double digits even.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, now we're kind of on the reg getting, 15 to 20 carries per game, even if it's spaced out between 2 or 3 people. But I don't know, man. We'll have to see. Like I said, it's all about opening up the offense. I think sticking with the running game and letting Carson still do his thing, that's going to go a long way with it. But they have to cash in on it, because lately they've been running the ball well, and teams have to respect it. But then they're not really cashing in. They're not getting those big plays over the top. They're not. I don't know. The pass game seems to be the problem right now.
Yeah, but it's going to get together. They're going to pull it together.
So.
I don't find the problem. I wonder if Kareem Hunt can even help in the pass game a little bit more than we think. Because Pacheco, by the way, was one of the most targeted players, and he was actually on the board as one of the top receiving guys, and he's been out a week. So just through 2 weeks, he was right there with him. So I wonder if Kareem Hunt could do that a little bit.
The receiving game?
Yeah. Like, if it's going to help the receiving game as a whole, not just Kareem Hunt receiving the ball. I understand that one.
Yeah, but I think it could. I mean, you have to think back. If you're just trying to remember, it's been a few years now, so you think back to Kareem Hunt. And in my head, I remember him running the ball well, but a lot of the bigger plays and a lot of the bigger splash plays was him catching the ball out of the backfield. And, I mean, they would be throwing deep to Kareem Hunt. Like, it wasn't just check down to your running back out of the back. Yeah. It wasn't that. He was out there running routes. He was doing his thing, man. And I think maybe, just maybe, they can get him back in there. Maybe that can help a little bit with the pass game.
Right. I'm trying to catch up on the chat a little bit.
All right. What about this 5-bomb?
All right.
Nick Clow. Clow.
5-bomb. What's he say? Aside from being 3-0, what's the best part about the current Chiefs team?
It's a good question.
I mean, honestly, I don't think the corners have been as atrocious as people thought they were going to be. I think Jalen Watson actually stepped up, and again,
Shamar Connor has been a beast.
Yeah, and again, we were kind of wrong about this. We thought Josh Williams would do it, and he didn't. Okay, and then Jalen Watson did it. So props Jalen Watson, and he's actually looked good. I think we've seen the emergence of Leo this year. Again, Leo's only got 94 snaps. Kind of strange. They've played over 205, I think. 205 defensive snaps, and Leo's not even played half of them.
I feel like he's out there all the time, though, man. He's such an impact
right?
when he's in the game,
Yeah, so I think that's been a positive. The Chiefs are getting a lot of pressure on the passer. I think George has 12 and Chris Jones has 13. They're just not getting home. We did see Felix. Felix only played 10 plays last week, but he looked a little more positive while he was in there.
I know he went on blocks, but I mean, he still made a hell of a play.
Yeah, he still had a play. He helped blow up a Bijan Robinson run at one point. I think the defense probably, like you said, Shamari Connor, he's played well. I think that's probably your positive right now, because usually defenses take longer to gel. They usually have a little bit of a drop-off, and I don't feel like they've dropped too much. I mean, yeah, they have. They were, number 3-2 last year, and now they're back to 17. But It's early, and we've played some good teams, by the way. So, yeah, I think that's a positive. And I think our run game's been pretty well. And I think Andy kind of committing to the run game's actually been a positive here. That's what I would take out of this. I feel like we're changing. I feel like this Chiefs team is evolving as a team before our eyes in a way.
You think so?
I don't think we're not the high-flying, greatest show on grass, whoop that ass on grass that we were wanting to be for the last few years. We're more of a grinded out. And dare I say, Mahomes is almost playing like a game manager. I don't want to say it. But I feel like we're getting that a lot. It's just, please don't turn the ball over. Let's commit to the run game behind this big offensive line. Let's let our defense eat. And I feel like that's kind of been our recipe for a year and a half.
I think it's just a natural progression when you're running through a dynasty, man. You have a really good team and you're trying to play high-level football and you're competing for Lombardies every year. You have to evolve. Like, you can't be the same team every year. You've got different players. I mean, I think it's just natural evolution of the offense, of the team as a whole. They're going to go through different seasons as a team, right? I mean, you can't be the same offense year in, year out. If you go back and look throughout the Patriots dynasty, Mike, they didn't look the same all the time. There's lots of years when it was literally just the defense doing everything for them. There were years when they had Randy Moss where they were the most high-flying team in football. And then it would go back to check down. I mean, they evolved. They did what they had to do to win games, and I think that's kind of where the Chiefs are at right now.
Yeah, I agree. I appreciate the 5 bomb, brother. Nick, appreciate you.
Let's go.
Minotaur back in here with another 5. He said Kelce still needs 63 receptions to pass Randy Moss for his career. Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
I think by the end of the year, Kelce I think he'll get over 65.
Well, I think Kelce's going to play at least 2 more years. Now, would I be surprised if he just dipped after his contract's up? No. But I think you're going to at least see him for the rest of this season and next season. So I think so. I think it's an easy one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking for it this year, I think it gets broken this year too. I don't see how he don't get over 60. I feel like Kelce will eventually get it together. I mean, he's playing a lot of snaps. A lot of people are like, hey, he's on a snap count. Well, he's really not. There's been 193 offensive snaps, and Kelce's played in 164 of them. So he's only not been on the field for 30 snaps in 3 games. That's averaging 10 snaps per game. Not that big of a deal. So he's getting decent amount of targets. He's got 13 in 3 games, which is about 4.333 infinity. Yeah, it's not the biggest what we're used to with Kelce, but I do think at some point he turns it on. And I would say it could be this week. He always plays well against the Chargers. Kelce beats the crap out of the Chargers. Maybe this is the week, or maybe that suspension causes Kelce to lose his mind a little bit. He's like, I will not come back and beat up on the guy behind Derwin James. I save all my anger for Derwin. Steve, what do you think about that? Did you see the short? I appreciate the 5 bomb, Minotaur. Did you see the short today I put out about we've caught the NFL. We've caught the entire NFL cheating for the Chiefs.
No one's going to get that, bro. Like, it's so funny. Any kind of, like, satire goes over people's heads.
Steve, I put a pinned comment.
Dude, I watched it. I was cracking up because, like, no one's going to get it. Like, no one catches humor on YouTube. They're just
should I abandon the fun humor should I abandon the sarcasm?
Nah, that's our thing, bro. Just do it. Hey, if they can't get the joke, that's on them. You know,
a lot of Chief fans don't get sarcasm. They're very. I'm not just Chief fans. For us to be winners, very
uptight.
Yeah, and they take a lot of things very, very personal. Like they take a lot of stuff personal, and then like they'll come on here and they're like, "You're negative," and it's like, well, we're just talking football, like.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. But that's kind of been a thing ever since we started, right? Mm-hmm. Matt says, let's pump them likes up. Those are rookie numbers. Maybe we'll get a drawing for a schedule. Yeah, let's do that. What do we even got going on today? 91?
Pump 95. Them likes, baby.
We got 95. Let's get that up to 150, baby. Get that to 150. We'll give away a signed poster with the schedule. Also, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. That's freaking awesome. And, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. All that fun stuff. You can join, become a member. You can start at $4.99. There's different tiers. And, of course, we do members-only live streams. We're going to be trying to do extra and, like, more stuff with the members. We've been talking about that. It's just been hectic now that the season kind of kicked off. But we're going to get all that straight. But, yeah, do that, man. We gave away a signed Justin Ross jersey just the other day on a live stream. So let's do it.
Yeah. Steve Rubin just says to do me. If you're having a little fun with the sarcasm, just go for it. I just think it's funny. It's funny. Like, I'm like, look, the Chiefs cheat. We caught him red-handed. I even found a picture of Goodell wearing a Chiefs hat. Like, Goodell's never had on another team's hat but the Chiefs. He goes hatless. It's funny. Like, I'm just trying to troll people and rile them up a little bit. And some guy said it was clickbait. I hear that so much. I don't think people understand what that means.
There's just certain things as a YouTuber that you're going to hear on a daily basis.
I just want Chiefs fans to have fun and have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
The majority of the hate, believe it or not, seems to come from more Chief fans than it does from the opposing team I'm trying to piss off.
Flapjack with the 2 bomb. He's out here shooting strays, baby. He said, starting to think our team
Flapjack's
went
not
to
pleased.
A Diddy party.
Flapjack's not pleased. Flapjack demands excellence. He wants blowouts, and
maybe if they would soak themselves up in one of them 1,000 bottles of baby oil, they couldn't get tackled. You think? Might make them a little more slippery.
This is why they can't. Diddy's got all the oils.
Appreciate
Rub it down.
that.
I don't know.
Flapjack and Kyle with the 2 bombs says Joe.
Wait, Joe Alt's out too.
Out with the MCL. Yeah.
I kind of did hear about that, but I just didn't pay attention.
I saw him come out last week, so. I don't know how serious
Joe Alt
has sprained MCLs. Nothing. You got to be cautious with a guy like him, right?
he's been a dog, dude. Joe Alt has been legit, which we all knew.
Yeah, he was kind of the only like surefire pick, you know. Like,
you remember back in the day when I was telling you Jaden Daniels was a pretty good quarterback, and everybody said he's too little.
Who?
Jaden Daniels.
Oh yeah,
look pretty good to me.
He does, and like, but I will say this: he is awful scrawny to be trying to run the ball as much as he does. So him getting hurt.
Well, isn't Lamar too? Lamar lost weight to do that. I feel like the game's trying to change, and I don't know if it needs to change.
Nah.
What happened to just the good old quarterback throws the ball?
Well, you got people out there like Kyler Murray who cannot stay in the pocket. If he's in the pocket, he's blind.
Poor Mahomes tries to stay in the pocket. He can't.
Have you seen the meme where it's like the next big duo in the NFL, and it's just a picture of Marvin Harrison Jr., and then after you look at the picture for a minute, you notice there's like this much of Kyler Murray at the bottom of it.
Kyler Murray, dude.
Bro, he's so tiny.
Do you think he's even good? Do you think he's even good at Call of Duty as much as he plays, or do you think he's still mid?
I don't know. What about Caleb Williams? Do you think he's going to be another Kyler Murray?
I think Caleb Williams right now is a product of the Bears just do not have an offensive identity. Because we both said that he came into a pretty good spot there. But it just feels like the Bears don't know what they want to do, and they won't commit to anything. And I don't know. Like, I think he's got all the potential to be a decent quarterback. Is he Mahomes part 2? I don't see that coming. No.
Yeah.
He's lost more games this year than Mahomes lost in his career already.
All right, guys, we're at 121 likes. Let's get that to 150, and we will give away a poster before we get out of here tonight. Let's see, man. So this is the first divisional game of the season.
Yeah.
And we always talk about every team comes out and throws haymakers at the Chiefs, or they'll play way above their skill level, and sometimes the Chiefs like to play down to their opponents. It's always a recipe for a close game, right? So I'm not expecting a blowout this coming weekend, even though by all metrics and all means it should be, especially with the guys being out that are going to be out.
Rashawn Slater is likely to be out with strained pectoral.
Dude, it's like they're basically playing like their practice squad. Like, this could be a get-right game for the offense.
We're going to see Tyler Heineke versus this defense. Like, we have to shut that down.
This could be a get-right game for the offense. I would love for them to just go out and just smash the Chargers and get on a little bit of get some momentum going on the offensive side of the ball, man. That's what I'm hoping for. But I will guarantee you, with Harbaugh as their coach now, they're going to try to slow the game down, or speed the game up, I should say. You'll probably see a lot of running, a lot of it, clock control.
Steve Brown Parrott said, if this game's close, we officially stink.
I agree, man. Like, with all these people out, there's no excuse, dude. There's just not. So, I mean, if you go out and leave this a close game and it's a nail biter and we're kicking a field goal at the end to win.
So if you're playing devil's advocate and you're let's just say you're like supposed to be an unbiased ESPN talking head, or let's just say you're hardballs and you're talking to your team, what's something that they could attack with the roster they're going to put on the field to beat us? I just don't even see how they've got a chance.
Nothing, bro. That's what I was saying. They're going to try to speed the game up. I think they'll try to just run the ball a lot.
You think they try to use Quentin Johnston in the pass game maybe to try to, like, pick on our DBs? Because
I don't see how.
Jalen Watson last week missed more tackles than he's missed all season. Okay. Najee blew a coverage. Him and Drew Tranquil kind of blew a coverage. Josh Williams has blew a coverage here and there. Maybe they're going to try to pick on him, or maybe even against a McDuffie matchup, he's got the height advantage. So maybe that's the one thing they can try to shoot at. I'm searching. I'm grasping at straws for him right now.
I don't know. That's the sad part. Like, it should be a comfortable one this week. Let's hope for it. We're due.
This game needs to be about 40-10. We did this last year in week 3 or week 4 that we pounced the Bears? Was that week 3 or week 4?
4.
It was the first time. Yeah, I think it was week 4. So we're at week 4 again this year. How about another week 4 blowout?
Let's do it, baby.
You know?
Man, we talked about before the season started how insane it would be if the Chiefs were to be undefeated by bye week. And, of course, it's an early bye week. It's week 6. So they just have to be 5-0. But like now that they've went out and grinded out games against the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Falcons, they just have to get through the Chargers and the Saints, and they're going to be at 5-0 at the bye week, Mike. I think that puts them in good position, especially beating the Ravens and the Bengals. They're in the driver's seat early on for that number 1 seat.
Yeah, I agree. The Saints may be a tough matchup. Maybe. But, Steve, we called that too.
But we
they
know how
looked
to beat
so
Derek
good,
Carr
and
now,
Derek
don't
Carr
we?
looked okay, and then we said instantly, that can all switch at the drop of a hat. And then they go out the very next week and stink. They look like they're horrible all of a sudden. I think the Chiefs have got the team to be 5-0 at the break, 100%. Will they execute this week and next week? This week, execution or not, you should beat this team by 2 touchdowns. The Saints are going to have to play a little bit heavier too. Let's hope they're not looking forward to the Saints.
Well, Bam says that the Saints could be a trap game. Like the guys ready for that bye week. We get the week off this week. And
maybe, but I wouldn't think that they're that horned up for a bye week so soon. So maybe they won't. Maybe if it was like week 10 and they were a little tired and sore, they'd be like, man, I can't wait to get a week off.
When they come off the bye week, man, they got to get busy, right? Because coming off the bye week, you're looking at the 49ers right off the bat. So that's going to be a tough game. They hate your guts. Yeah, they took a pretty bad L to the Vikings last week, but they're still a good team. You know that. And there's definitely some animosity there. They have to hate the Chiefs at this point. They've literally stole 2 Super Bowls from them. But yeah, it's them. Then they get right back to the AFC West game with the Raiders. Then the Buccaneers, who are not a pushover. They're not great, but they're not a pushover. You got the Donkeys, the Bills. I was going to say we got an easy one with the Panthers, but it looks like Andy Dalton's the best quarterback in the league right now, so I don't know.
Dude, Andy Dalton. Come on now. That's just luck. It's luck. That don't hold up.
Do you know why that happened? Can I tell you guys why that happened? Because against all intuition, I was like, I'm going to grab the Raiders defense and play them in fantasy because they're playing Carolina. And in my head, I'm just thinking like Max Crosby eating and like just them, playing a crappy team. And just because I did that, like I would never pick the Raiders up. But for some reason, I was like, it makes sense, right?
I can't believe you put your fantasy team on the Raiders.
Hey, I still won though. It's okay. My 2 worst people on my entire fantasy team was the Raiders defense and Devontae Adams. Anybody that's a Raider just sucks,
Did you think when the season started, did you think that going in, and I know there's a lot of injuries here, but did you think out of the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos that the Chargers might be the 2 easiest wins out of the 6 games?
No, because you're so used to the Chargers being that pain in the ass in the AFC West lately.
I think the Raiders might be that thorn this year a little bit.
Yes,
they're not great still, but they'll play us like it's a Super Bowl.
They flashed a couple times this year. But I think overall they're a bad team. Any team.
Are they having a little trouble in paradise with Devontae Adams again?
Absolutely, dude. They have Gardner Minshew as a starting quarterback, dude. They did the whole team a disservice. You saw him come on last year. Pierce is actually a pretty good coach. He had the guys going in the right direction. The defense bulked up a little bit. They even went and got more pieces in the offseason with Christian Wilkins. It's like, by all means, that defense should be pretty good. And they skipped on like the main thing they needed. They knew they weren't going with Aiden O'Connell still. He's one of the lamest quarterbacks I've ever watched. You knew that wasn't the answer. And they went out in the draft. They did not take a shot at any of the guys that were in the top, and they didn't even take a shot on Spencer Rattler, who I thought they could be looking at and who I think could go above expectations in the NFL. I'm not saying he'll be great, but I think he could be a decent quarterback, like Baker Mayfield-esque or something. You know what I'm saying? But like they completely ignored the most important part of their team. And they're like, oh, well, we have this guy. Throw him out there.
Well, they're going to be tough games. Those are going to be tough games for us. Obviously, the Bills will be another tough game. The 49ers are going to be a tough game. So we've got a few big ones on the schedule. I think the Bucs are going to be tough. But we do get the Bucs at home. That's a positive. Do we go to the Bills this year? We may go to Orchard Park.
Yeah, we do. We do. In November.
Okay, so we are going to be up there. But look, the Bills, they're kind of impressive to this point, but they're not beating anybody. Who have they beat? Male High School up here in Louisville?
We all thought the Bills were going to take a step back this season, but then when you really look at the scheme of things, there's no reason for them to. They lost Stephon Diggs. They don't have Gabe Davis. But let's be honest here. Like Stephon Diggs, yeah, he could be a top 10 receiver in the league. But I mean, Gabe Davis is MVS, and like I don't know. I just think Josh Allen's always been the catalyst to that offense. Like everything goes around Josh Allen. He does too much to the point to where it gets him in trouble with turnovers. And I think it's the same deal now. You just have a younger group of guys around him with Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman, James Cook. So, I mean, I think by the end of the season, they could be that team that we're really battling with.
Yeah, Bam says Josh Allen's reads seem to tick faster this year. Steve, did I not call that out? It was week 1 or week 2, and I told you Josh Allen looks like he's reading defenses better this year than he has in years past. That's his difference.
How does that just happen overnight, though, you know?
I think you just get used to the scheme. Ray says that sucks losing to the Commanders at home. I think they will turn it around. Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, he's talking to the bum
Yeah,
holes.
man, the Bengals have not
The
started
Bengals
off
going
on
0-3, kind of odd to me. Only 4 teams have ever made it to the playoffs after starting 0-3.
Yeah,
kind of sucks.
But they are a team that went to the Super Bowl in a 10-6 season. So
right. So yeah, I wouldn't say they're completely out of it though.
Depends on how everything else works out, right?
Well, consider the Ravens. If the Ravens was to drop onto the Bills again this week, the Ravens aren't that.
Well, the thing about it is, I think the thing that sucks the most for the Bengals is not just being 0-3 right now, but the Steelers being 3-0 and looking halfway.
Yeah,
competent.
but the Steelers are kind of going to fall out.
They're pretenders
though,
for sure. I don't think they're as good as 3-0.
Justin Fields ain't going to carry that long.
No, but I do think Justin Fields is in a much better place with Mike Tomlin. So I think you're going to get more out of Justin Fields now than you were in Chicago.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. Let's look at the likes. Let's see if we can give away a poster.
7 more. 7 more likes.
7 more. Let's give away a poster before we jump off here tonight. Again, we're probably going to be back on Thursday. Won't be able to do nothing tomorrow, so we'll probably jump back on with a live on Thursday. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Let's get these likes in. Let's do a giveaway here for a poster. By the way, shout out Michael Hamilton. Your jersey, your Justin Ross jersey, and your schedules are boxed. They will be shipping out tomorrow morning, so look for that pretty soon. And yeah, man, let's give away a poster here. How close are we? I know we got to be close,
there, right? Hashtag poster in the chat. We just passed it. We're 152.
Okay,
hashtag poster in the chat. So make sure to put hashtag poster in the chat so you can be eligible. We'll pick 5 of you out, throw you on the wheel of death, and knock this bad boy out, my man. Let's
get wheel of death, huh?
Let's see. It's 10:44 Eastern time, 9:44 Central. Let's go at 48. 48. We're gonna go ahead and start picking people. So give you about 4 minutes. Make sure you get hashtag poster in the chat somewhere. That way Nightbot knows you're here.
Oh, Nightbot.
Oh, Nightbot. Mike, have you shouted out our sponsor today?
I haven't. I'm not going to. They made me mad this week.
Okay. Awkward silence.
Awkward silence.
I sense some.
It's not. No, I'm fine with them. It's just it's not a shout out night. I mean, if they're not going to pay me, they're not going to pay me. I ain't here for my health. I ain't here for a good time. I'm here for a good time. I was going to say I'm not here for a good time. I'm here for a horrible experience.
That's funny. We got to get Blue Chew involved, bro.
Yeah, see, Blue Chew, we give them so much free shout outs. I think, who gets more, Prime or Blue Chew? Who gets more shout out? I think it used to be Prime. Chew, now it's Blue Chew.
Blue Chew, easy.
True.
They owe us a lot.
Dude, one of them's got it. Could you imagine having a Blue Chew horned up play of the week? I mean, come on.
Where you at, Blue Chew?
Just think about the possibilities. You show a play, and you're like...
Y'all do us a favor. If you're ever bored one day, just go to Blue Chew's website and see if you can find anything that says like sponsors or something, and just be like, hey, send them a little email. Like, man, these guys are perfect. They're all horned up and ready for Blue Chew. Just go do it.
So they're trying, you know?
All right. We got about 2 more minutes. We'll go ahead and get this bad boy going. So make sure you get hashtag poster in. That way you have a chance to win a signed poster.
Brian Perry says if Washington can do that to the Bengals, then why didn't the Chiefs? Yeah, we kind of talked about it. I think Mahomes literally, I think that coordinator and the Bengals live in his head a little bit.
It's definitely matchups, right? Like it has to be. So, I mean, that, and they always play their best game against the Chiefs. I don't know if that is the same thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, more than likely, you know what happens? That's the wrong Native American team, and they didn't care. People just try more. They care. It matters more to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
that's their rival, isn't it? That's Burrowhead.
Right.
Like, come on. They think that
they don't get his butt hurt when they lose.
Yeah, they would have hung a banner if they'd have won that game the other day. Let's be honest.
All right. Man, so I'm pretty excited about the game this weekend. So it'll be fun to do the tailgate on Saturday night. What time is the game on Sunday? Is it a 3:25 game? Okay.
A little bit earlier, so that's good. We won't have to get on here at 2:00 in the morning doing a post game. That's fun.
That's true. Don't have to do that.
Right.
All right, you guys, you got one more minute. Hashtag
one more
poster
minute. Get it.
If you have not. Bengals tears are mighty tasty, says Iron Price. They sure are. Salty. They're very salty, though. Got to watch them. All right, Mike, let's do this thing. Let's go ahead. We're going to go 10 seconds early.
10 seconds early. Okay, let's roll it. Jeff Shirk.
Jeff Shirk, baby.
I'll get him on the board. How many we drawing? 5? We always say 5, then we take 6, and the 6th guy wins it every time, and then everybody hates us.
Yeah, we'll try that then. We'll see how that goes. Neil. All right, so Jeff Shirk, and we got Neil Burdett.
Let's go. Roll it again. Scott TG. Did Scott win something last time? I thought Scott, or did he just get pigged last time to play?
I don't know.
I don't think Scott got pigged.
He's horned up, though.
He's horned. He's ready to go, baby. Michael Heiniger. This Will likes Michaels. Do you think it knows that my name is Michael?
I think you've rigged it. Hashtag rigged.
I like it, though, you know.
I never see a Steven on the board.
We got Jay in the house. Jay. Okay, and then we'll give it the good 06 spin for good measure. Esteban. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Let's roll it.
Let me share this screen, and we'll roll it up for you guys. We'll not roll it up for you guys. That sounded like we're sponsoring something wild in here. Can we see the wheel? We still got Kareem Hunt in the middle of the wheel.
Hey, let's do it. Who better?
It's a good time. Let's roll it. Okay, you don't want to see your name, ladies and gents. Do not want to see it. Jay seen his name right off the rib.
Bro. Terrible luck.
Terrible luck. But you know what? I think Jay's got to I don't know if Jay does or not. He's won something, I thought, here lately.
Scott. What's up, Lonnie? I
love how the guy in the background just like parties so hard that somebody's out. He's like, whoa.
Yeah, he hates people. He's trying to ruin their day.
Jeff Shirk out between Esteban, Neil, and Michael. And lo and behold, Esteban's still
hanging in, bro. There's something to this.
There's something to the extra guy.
Do you think the wheel favors the 6th slot?
No, I shuffled the wheel before it started, and I'll shuffle it. Look, I'll
maybe
keep
it knows.
shuffling.
It knows the original lineup.
Look, I shuffle.
All right, here we go.
Don't want to see it. Is there 2 Michaels in a row, possibly?
You got to be kidding me, bro.
Esteban. It's always the 6th guy.
It stands. It's still going.
Does it have a 6th sense, if you will?
Well, Esteban, you need to email us, allchiefdup+urgent.com with your shipping address, and we'll ship out your signed poster.
Yeah, man.
Good times.
K. Wayne says rigged. It might be.
Rigged AF, Minotaur says.
For sure. Okay, well, guys, I think we're going to jump off here. It's been real. It's been awesome. I got a long night ahead of me. I got a long day tomorrow.
Awesome.
But we'll be back probably Thursday with another live. We'll go ahead and do a live tonight and Thursday since we're going to miss tomorrow more than likely. Probably won't be able to get any content out on Thursday either because I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow. So it is what it is.
It'll be a live stream kind of week, baby. We'll be back
it's going to be a
Saturday
live stream kind of week.
So
yeah, why not?
And post game. That's going to be 4 live streams this week, ladies and gents.
Live stream it up. Why not? But anyways, yeah, appreciate you guys. Go ahead and hit that like button on your way out. If you haven't subscribed already, do that. We're trying to hit 50K, and we're pretty close. We're only within like 15,000 already, which is pretty nice.
There.
But yeah, man, I think I'm done tonight, Steve.
Yeah.
You got anything
appreciate
for
you
him?
guys. No, I don't. Suck it. See you next time.
There goes a sight from my soul.